What is up, guys? Welcome to episode 1 of interviewing Global Warfare 3 players, and you can introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Siege, also known as King Jeec.
Okay. And my first question to you today is how did you discover Global Warfare and what initially made you decide to participate in the event?
Believe it or not, funny story. Me and my girlfriend actually watched Global Warfare together for the first two seasons, and I actually said to her, "I'm going to sign up as a joke," and because I never thought I would ever get in. And then when we got the message saying that I was getting in, we were both just absolutely pissing ourselves.
That's cool. That's cool. My second question is before the event, what did you imagine it would be like? What was the biggest difference between the expectation and your actual experience once you started playing?
I mean, for us, considering all the drama that happened behind the scenes with our team, the expectation was we were going to be playing for survival with a very small team. So to then turn out and blossom into the group we became and have a major impact on the story and stuff, it was definitely interesting.
Okay, okay. And how was it for you playing against or with other players from around the world? Did you notice any interesting cultural differences or play styles?
Not massively, like I say, because of the kind of team we had, we adopted a lot of the other nations and a lot of people from around the world. We had the Polish team end up fully integrating with ours at one point, and I think it just became a very respectable community where the cultural differences didn't matter, so you never really saw anything.
Okay, okay. And what was the most challenging aspect of the event for either your team or personally you?
I think for me and the team in a way, because we didn't really have any content creators or major YouTubers in the event, trying to get ourselves put into those major groups, considering we'd put the work in and doing the time and putting all that effort into become a major group, getting the recognition from Fancy Hub, the admins, and the other content creators, that was definitely one of the hardest parts.
Okay, okay. And how crucial was teamwork and communication with your group during high stress situations? And can you give me an example?
Uh, the best example is when Brazil raided us very early on. We had to bounce back really quickly, or it was kind of event over for us because we were stuck in the snow. So communicating between and at that point, that's when I decided I needed more leaders amongst my team to help me out with communicating their specific areas and getting our new build up really quickly. So I'd say that was probably one of our key aspects.
Okay, okay. And how was the event? And did you encounter any issues with the server performance, lag, anything?
Like everyone knows, the server performance wasn't great, and I voiced my opinions thinking attack helicopters weren't the greatest when it comes to helping performance. But considering the circumstances and considering the kind of event we're playing in, I can understand the server issues. I think it'd be better if they could somehow find a way to make them better. But otherwise, the event was really good. Like I say, once we got into those content creator meetings and we got our seat at the UN and etc. etc. Once our team got the recognition for what we were doing, it honestly it was a great event for all of us.
Okay, okay. And what was the most rewarding part of participating in Global Warfare 3 for you?
For me personally, like I say, it was getting to know all those content creators and actually sitting there talking to them in person as though you're almost one of them. Like they accepted me in with open arms, and I think for our team, it was such a big thing that we'd been working towards and getting into the news and stuff. So for everyone who was part of the OTF team during the event, whether it was at the start or whether you joined halfway through, like the Polish guys, we all worked really, really hard to get that.
Okay, okay. And yeah, looking back, if you could change one thing about your own team's approach during the event, what would it be?
Honestly, I don't actually know if I would change much. I think the only thing I personally would change is when we did the big Brazil raid, I didn't have much of our team online. So it would have been nice to have a few more members online to go through that.
Yeah,
But
it would have
otherwise,
been, it would have been, it would have been. And what is the most important piece of advice you would give to somebody applying or trying to get into the next global warfare event?
I'd say, Luke, come with a big idea, even if it's completely out there and mental. Just come with that big idea, and put that into your application. And when you get into a team, just voice your opinion, because otherwise, if you don't get to know people and don't voice your thoughts, no one's ever going to recognize you. Whereas if you come in and do that, like I did with my team, you don't just force it across, you just put it across, and you
Hmm.
build on ideas with other players. Your experience becomes 100-fold better.
Okay, okay. And I just want to say thank you for coming out here and spending your time with me. And is there anybody that you would like to say thank you for helping you in the event?
Luke, I'd love to say thank you to Winnie. He was a big help in getting me into the UN meeting and the streamer chat to be with all the other leaders, which was absolutely amazing. I'll never forget what he did for me. I'd like to say thank you to Baka, Blade, and Vasok, my leaders within OTF. They helped out massively. And shout out to Pavkov and all the Polish guys that joined us later on. But honestly, I want to thank the whole team in general because those guys worked their arse off. Whether they played 1 hour or 50, they were insane.
That's good, though. That's good. We're going to be moving on to the next guys, to the next person, and I just want to say thank you for coming out here. All right. Well, enjoy your day, man. Okay, guys. So we got to the second candidate here. You can go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hey guys, I'm Pierre. I play for Brazil and Latam. I had a great time at the event. Now I'm gonna answer a few quick questions for the video. So yeah, looking forward to it.
So, how did you first discover global warfare, and what made you participate in the event?
Well, when I first found out about all the events, it was actually in Minecraft a long time ago. And by searching a Minecraft video, I saw a Fancy Orb video about that in Rust. And I played Rust and I was like, oh, that's cool. That's a cool idea. Let's see how it works in Rust. And I really liked it. And now in Global Warfare 3, I was looking at patch notes from Rust and I saw the event in the patch notes, the video, and I was like, well, I mean, now I speak English, I learned English, now I can play, now I can participate, and talk to the people and make some friends. Why not try it out? Try to get in the whitelist. And yeah, I joined the Discord server, I got approved, and yeah, I was really looking forward to it. I got approved like around a month ago, I think. So yeah, that's how I found out about the event.
That's cool. That's cool. I like your story about that. It's pretty good. And my second question to you is, before the event, what did you imagine it would be like? What it would be in the event, and what was the biggest difference between the expectation and your actual experience once you started playing?
Well, I had a great time. There's not much to complain about. And the only thing my expectations were a little bit higher was the amount of people in the server at the same time. I thought it was going to be around 1,000 people, but it's 100% and completely understandable that that's really not possible because it lags so much with 350 and 500, and 1,000 wouldn't be possible. So, even though it wasn't that much people at the same time, it was still amazing. And another thing I had in mind before the event, since I didn't play before in those events, was that it was gonna be somewhat scripted. Not the whole thing, but kind of scripted, and it was all in improvising. It was all going, with the flow. It wasn't scripted at all. There wasn't anything going behind the scenes. And just some admins implying the rules here and there. But other than that, it was all natural, and I feel like that's the main thing that I wasn't expecting, and that's so much better. We could be ourselves and express ourselves, and it was a genuine storyline. I feel like that made it so much better. So yeah, that was something, along with the amount of people at the same time in the server that I was expecting, that was kind of different in the event, but it was really great. I really liked it.
That's good. That's good. It's sometimes it's better when it's an all natural, not really scripting.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, and can you tell us a small story of something that happened in the event?
Okay, sure. Let me think about something cool that happened. Well, there was a lot of raids, but I feel like that's, it happens a lot. So, one thing that was cool about the event, the day after the nukes, um, I met with a lot of people from all the teams, our allies, our rivals, enemies, and Japan, China, OOKS, and we all got in a big group of role players to go around the world and explore and try out. We went to the club, we went to the carnival, we went to the British bridge. It was really fucking cool, man. Oh my god, it was amazing. We got like 40 people in the alley scrap, like all over each other, and we started exploring and doing so much cool stuff. And another cool thing I would like to mention here was the ending. Oh my god, it was cinema. It was cinema. The first nuke got thrown into the ooks. We got the nuke, and then we lost it to Mexico, and they nuked Latam and Brazil. And then since the last nuke was in Latam and Brazil base, we had to get it out to nuke Mexico back, and it was amazing. Oh my god, it was so great. There was like 300 people at the same time fighting for it, and I'm really excited to see how it's gonna look in the video that Fancy is gonna make. And yeah, that's some quick stories. There's a lot of detail, but I feel like it's better if I don't spoil it too much and we just watch it in the video. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
And how was it for you playing against or with other players from around the world?
man, it was amazing. I even in games we get in contact with the culture, and with the people. I met some people that spoke Italian, Mandarin, Hindi, a lot of English. Of course, English is pretty much the main language. And yeah, a lot of cultural stuff, different accents. You know what I mean? Here in Brazil, in South America, have a type of accent. People from Canada, Australia have other types. It's like so cool to get in contact with all that. And there was a lot of people from around the world doing some stuff from their country. You know what I mean? It was so cool to see all those differences and the differences in how they treat you, they talk to you, how they are. I feel like there are some people that are way more friendly. Some others they're still friendly, but they're just more quiet. I don't know if it's because of they don't really speak English or if they don't just really vibe that much about that. But it was really amazing, bro. It was really great to see all the people from around the world. And since there was people in different time zones, at I don't know at 10 p.m. here, it was like 6 a.m. in Japan, so there was a lot of players in Brazil and North America. But when it was midnight, not midnight, like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. here, there was still a lot of players in the server because there was players from another country. I feel like that was really good. So when it was nighttime, there was still a lot of players to play with. So I feel like that was good, having people from around the world. And yeah, man, it was so great. It was so amazing, man. It was so amazing. Chinese guys, oh my God, have you seen them? They were so funny. The videos they made about working hard, oh my God, that was really funny, guys.
You
Oh
know
my God, that was amazing.
the Chinese really hits hard. They really do. They really do. They are very funny.
Uh-huh, they really do, man. And their language Mandarin is so cool, man. And then I saw a TikTok of them screaming something Mandarin, and a lot of work is coming out of their base. It was so funny, and I feel like because he was Mandarin and we don't really understand that he was screaming it, it made it better. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
yeah, seeing all those languages, those culture, a lot of mixed people, it made it so much better, man. It made it so much better.
And how hard was teamwork and communication with your group? And was there any high stress situations? And can you give me an example?
Um, about communication, you mean?
Yeah, like a communication with your team and a teamwork with them. And is there any high stress situations you encountered while
Well,
you were in the
it
event?
was with our team. It was kind of okay because we all spoke Portuguese, but there was something there was some barrier between us and Latam because they spoke Spanish and we speak Portuguese. and we kind of spoke Spanish. We call Portuñol was like a mix of both. It was, kind of hard to communicate. And I mean, not really stressful, but fun situations was like, at the meetings
Mm.
and when we're gonna raid someone or we're getting ready, we were all screaming three languages: English, Portuguese, and Spanish. It was kind of hard, but it was so funny, man. It was
That's
so funny because me, for example, I speak Portuguese and English fluently, but I don't speak Spanish. I speak a little bit, but not that much. So I prefer to speak English with them, so it's easier for me.
mm,
But some Brazilians don't speak English at all, so they speak Spanish. And some people from Latam prefer to speak English instead of Portuguese. And you can already imagine, like, the
mm.
call with like 40 people speaking three languages. It was so funny, man. It was amazing.
And
But yeah, we didn't really struggle, Only with our allies a little bit, to communicate sometimes it's a little bit hard, but nothing much. Something you can get over it. It's all good.
well, that's good. That's good. And how was the event? And did you encounter any issues with the server performance and stuff like that?
Well, man, a little bit, but that was more related to my routes, my internet more than the server. Of course, it lagged a little bit sometimes around,
Mm,
when there was a lot of raids and a lot of people in the same area. And even though my computer is not that bad, my FPS went down, and that's not like there's not a lot of things that Fancy could do to make the server better. You know what I mean?
mm.
It was still great, even though it lagged a little bit. And of course, in the nukes, it lagged a lot, but that's expected. You know what I mean? But overall, it was really good to play. Actually, I didn't have a lot of issues, and most of the issues I had were expected ones, like the nuke, or because of my internet. So yeah, it was really good. They really did a good job, with the server.
That's good, and that's good, and yeah, it did. Well, it did not really lag at my end, but in some places it did. Like for example, in Canada sometimes because there's a lot of entities and stuff.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Especially since I live in Brazil and I play on high ping. I know what you mean. Sometimes it lags. Yeah, I agree.
And what was the most rewarding part of participating in global warfare?
Man, the most rewarding part was the friends I made. I made so many friends from like a lot of nations. And I'm gonna play a wipe with them, with people from the
Oh,
USA,
okay.
Can America. Yeah, I'm gonna play wipe with them. I met a lot of people from the Brazil team, Latam team, and Australia too, Russia. I met a lot of cool people, a lot of good friends to play Rust with, and it was so fun, man. The feeling I had when the event ended. When you go on vacation and it's a really good one, you have such a great time, and you go back home and you feel kind of empty, like you're missing something. That's how I felt when the event ended. You know what I mean? It was really
Yeah.
good, man. It was really
It's
good. It was
like
so rewarding.
a lot of people says that global warfare is like the peak part of Rust. It's the peak part,
Yeah,
and
it's peak.
yeah. What is the most important piece of advice that you would give to somebody applying or trying to get into the next global warfare?
The biggest piece of advice I give, guys, um, don't forget. Well, one advice to get in the whitelist, just before you apply, try to think what you want to do in the server. Try to create something. Be creative. Have a good idea of what you're gonna do. Present a good idea, like some cool base you're gonna make, or make sure you state that you're gonna be really active because you really want to play. Like make sure you you give Fancy something, you offer something for the server, because the thing that we have most in Rust is normal players, right? We need for the content some players that are willing to be on for a lot of hours, for the weekend, or players that are willing to make some cool stuff, be friendly, go around the world, support RP, because that's really important for them. And one advice, if you do get in, don't take it all personal. At the end of the day, it's all content. We are all friends, and we're all trying to have a great time, make a cool video for the YouTube channel of the fans you have. At the end of the day, it's just all gonna be memories. So don't take it seriously. Some things happen. You might get upset. Some people get upset, and it just happens. You know what I mean? Just get
Yeah.
over it. It's a game. Just have fun. Everybody's having a great time. And sometimes you're gonna get a little bit upset, but try to not be toxic. Of course, there's a little bit of trash talk, in a friendly way between teams. That's completely normal. I feel like that helps, but don't say bad stuff to hurt people's feelings, and just be friendly overall. You know what I mean? Don't grieve too much. Something. If you're gonna don't grief like there was a few people griefing a gun shooting range in Texas. Like, come on, there's no reason for you to do that. There's no content involved. There's nothing to add with that. Like, you're just gonna grief something cool. So be cool, be friendly. Don't take it all seriously. Have a great time. Make sure one advice: make sure you go around the world one time, because there's a lot of things I missed. So many things, so many cool things the people built. I went around the world like 5 times and I still missed a lot of buildings. So make sure you go over and you explore everything. Have a great time exploring, because it's really cool, man.
Oh, that's good. That's good. And looking back, if there is one thing you could change about your own or your team's approach during the event, what would that be?
Man, to be honest, I would do all the same. Everything. It was such a genuine interactions with all the teams, such genuine content we created. And personally, on my behalf and on behalf of my team, I wouldn't change anything that they did or we did, you know, anything. It was all great. It was all perfect. It was all really cool. The arc, we got found wiped, and then we got up in the next day. We stayed up, farmed, enjoyed Latin, and, farmed a lot, got up, and nuked Ooks. We got our revenge. It's a cool arc, and then we got nuked again by Mexico. And the nuke that was with us, we fought it out and brought it up to Mexico and nuked them, and it was all really cool. So I wouldn't change anything. It was all perfect. I feel like everything was the way it should be. It was amazing.
And yeah, so it was a fun event. A lot of people say they enjoyed it, and it was good. And I just want to say thank you for coming out and spending your time with me. And is there anybody that you would like to say thank you for helping you in the event?
Of course, there's a little list. I'm gonna mention Juninho, Todinho, the leaders of Brazil, for letting me play with them. Thank you so much, guys. I'm also gonna say Redicas and Uncle Sam. Thank you so much. They were the president and vice president of Canada America. They helped us a lot. Thank you so much, guys. You guys were amazing. I love you guys. I want to thank Rain too. He was in UN. Thank you. Hope C, he was in Australia. I had, contact with all those guys from the other teams. Lemire from Russia. Thank you so much. And I want to thank our allies too. I want to thank Latam for letting us join them and merge so we could play together after we got raided. Can America, all of Europe, Portugal. It was a small group of guys, but thank you guys for being there for us. Italy, Germany, out of Europe, United Nations, Australia, Russia, Can America, USA, all of those guys. Thank you so much. You guys were everything. You guys were so friendly, amazing, and you guys did so much for the story. I also want to thank Coconut for being the Ooks. He took everything, Even though we from Brazil did a little bit of trash talking, they did back. It was all, friendly. They took it well. It wasn't personal at the end of the day. I want to thank Egypt. I want to thank Mexico. Oh my God, Grief, president of Mexico. He was so cool too. I want to thank Ooks, Egypt, TBM, Mexico, Kazakhstan was really cool. Japan, China, all of you guys. We were against at the war, but no hard feelings. I love all of you. It was so amazing sharing the server with you guys. It was so amazing. It was really, really great. And again, special thank to Reddit, because especially you're great, my guy. You're the president, brother. I love you.
That's good. That's good. And guys, I just want to say thank you for watching. And this is the wrap of episode 1. We'll see you next time in episode 2. Goodbye.